Welcome to Oops All Segments, the very best podcast. Hitting your eardrums at this very moment, I'm Kevin.
I'm Thomas, and today we are here with a man from the future. From Blade Runner 42069, it's Kris Siddiqi. Take a look at this freaking...
Good future, gentlemen. Good future. This is what we say in the future. Good future.
Good future to you, and good future to you. What's up, Kris? Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me in the past. It's a different vibe back here. You guys are still, very basic, but good future to you. Ones and zeros all around,
Yes, we're very binary in the future, which is sort of regressive.
We went back to binary.
Reverted hard back.
I've said this on the podcast before. There is a restaurant near me that tries to be progressive, but their bathrooms just say both, which I always thought was a cute miss. They really wanted to be inclusive, and they just didn't quite do it.
That's great.
That's great. Kris, you joined the call with this as your backdrop. I wanted to know if you just ran, is this what the future always looks like? Did you pull this up in advance? Or
you know what? This was a lovely surprise because I haven't used StreamYard in so long that this was my default thing that I last used. And I went, well, I'm using this.
That'll do. That'll do just fine.
This'll do perfectly.
For our audio listeners, Kris is surrounded by some sort of neon-colored, nightclub of the future.
Yeah. Do you guys even know what this is? Do you guys know where this is from?
Legacy,
there you go.
Perhaps?
No, it's not even Legacy. It's the OG.
It looks like old
Tron. Okay.
Yeah, original.
But it also
Tron.
works as this because, I used to play, during the pandemic, we'd play, Dungeons & Dragons and Cyberpunk.
Sure.
And so I always wanted to give a cyberpunk background to to fit in with my cyberpunk character. And I was this is fitting, when you go to Future Bar and you order a laser screwdriver or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
These are the people in the laser bar.
Yeah, I like it.
That's
cool.
I also played a sci-fi D&D during the pandemic. I did a Star Wars themed one over Zoom as well. So there's a little bit of overlap here.
And we also laser bar. There's tons of laser bars.
We started our D&D podcast over the pandemic as well.
That's
We have a second podcast called What We Do in the Basement. That's a D&D podcast.
Get the flip out of here! Hey, can we swear on this?
Yeah. You can swear.
Get
in fact,
the fuck out of here!
There we go.
That's
Yeah.
great. Okay.
In fact, it's mandatory. It's mandatory.
Okay,
in fact.
Good.
Yeah. So podcasts abound. But is there anything new in your life, Kris, aside from the fact that you're in the future that you wanted to chat about? What's going on with you?
Is there anything new? Come on. I mean, it's coming to the holidays. I'm in month 7 of being in the house that I bought.
Wow!
Whoa, with my wife's money,
where's my
okay.
So
and feminist alert.
Thank you. I mean, technically, I'm more of a tenant. She is my landlord. We're still,
feminist alert.
There
feminist
you go.
Alert.
Here's my 2 rules for marrying a woman. She takes my name, I take her money. How about that?
Wow. Okay. This is a default thing just because I'm poor. Look, I'm poor, but I have good credit. She's rich, bad credit.
That's
it depends.
Find yourself a rich dad, poor dad type of relationship.
Man. That's
right.
So bought a new house. It's fantastic. I'm just doing my stuff. As you can see, we're just putting up the lasers, the robot women. We haven't moved yet.
Yeah.
This whole part of the ceiling, I'm still. Do I knock it down? This is old pink popcorn ceiling that I'm maybe I should leave it. The old Astro monks over here.
Yes, of course.
They still have yet to get their stuff out.
Yeah.
I understand.
So we're still settling in, and I think the housing market in Canada is insane and dumb, and houses should never cost over $100,000. Houses aren't worth anywhere near $1 million.
God! Oh heavens, no.
Any house, house.
No. So. Any house that could be conceivably worth that much is because it also could be used for other things that are not residential. I think. Yeah.
Tons of
Do you guys ever think the big bad wolf checks Zillow? He's looking for spots that are made of sticks.
You know what? That's a great. I love that idea of him just scrolling through his phone.
Honestly,
what's next?
That could be a TikTok. Maybe is the big bad wolf on freaking Zillow. Just
I love that.
Checking out, seeing if any pig houses are on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's the?
I'm sorry to
what's the
interrupt,
button?
Chris. I really
That was the best interruption. Sorry, I'm just silent because I'm like my mind is spinning with like, that's a great idea. What he's going to viewings for the pigs' houses. And he's like,
It's hard to.
This house is made of straw. How long has it been here? And the foundation is all right.
He's checking the Zillow listing for how many previous tenants have been in there.
Yeah,
it's a new build.
And what are the amenities in this neighborhood?
Yeah, it's like a walkable neighborhood.
Yeah,
huffing and puffing.
Yeah. That's great. That's
new in my life.
Congratulations, truly. Owning a house in Toronto area. I mean, some would say you're out of touch at this point.
Well, hey, I like to think that I am, and I say it because I use my wife's money. I'm not a rich man. I use other people's money. This is what my life has become. I need other people's money to be slovenly and hang out with my cool future friends.
That's awesome.
I mean, hey, there's only one way to fund one lifestyle, and that's through the means of
rich women.
Yeah. If you're Robin Hood, I'm Friar Cuck.
There
it is. There it is.
Good night, guys. Thanks for having me. That's been a great show, everyone.
we hit the peak at 6 minutes, so that's
that's all you need.
Usually it takes almost 2 episodes to get a good joke out, so that was pretty fast.
There you go.
Kevin, what's new with you, my friend?
Yeah, I guess I didn't quite have an immediate check-in, and then I realized when this episode was coming out what the date's gonna be, and I figured I haven't. It's gonna be hard for me to plug this without. My mom has written a book, and it's coming out on the 2nd, so it's out now, and I read a first draft, and it's also filled with personal stories. And there's a chance that my mother hears this episode and says, Kevin, please don't plug my book. But I'm going to plug it anyway because I'm proud of her, and I think it's very impressive that she was able to do this. So if it's a real problem for you, Mother, you can send me a message and I'll have to edit the upload. But otherwise, I'm going to say, please go check out Where the Cherries End Up, which is a book by Sandra Ramberran, my mom. It's filled with like salacious personal details about a woman who lived a very hard life, but it's I think it's very impressive. So that's new. There's insane pieces of information I read in there that my therapist told me I shouldn't know. But so if that's a selling point at all for anyone, then
oh my God, that's so sweet. What a good son you are.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
Really nice.
Yeah. Well, I like to cater to 50% of our fan base, and so my mom needs to have that
let me
sort
shout out the other 50%. My mom's written a couple books as well.
It's not a one-upmanship thing, though, right?
Donut Shop Lovers and Beautiful Girl Thumb. Check her out. And if for some reason, Kevin, your mom does want to bleep this, you can edit in me plugging my mom's books, so it sounds like you were talking about that the whole time.
Right.
But I am really proud of you, Sandra. I hope that it is a great success. And I don't know if it's appropriate for me to read it based on what Kevin's just shared about his own therapist, but I will buy a copy and put it on the shelf anyway.
Hey.
There we go. Beautiful. T, what's cracking in your life, man? You're clear to the vid.
I'm grieving the loss of a dear close personal friend.
My God.
My level 42 hardcore rogue in Diablo 4 perished. I was trying to get a trophy for getting a hardcore character to level 50. There's permadeath in the game. And so if you die once, you lose everything. And I did lose everything yesterday.
Sorry, pal.
Are you a Diablo guy, Chris?
I powered through Diablo, and I haven't touched it since. And hey, man, I say this with very heavy heart. I know how it is. I know the grind. I know the continuous constant chatterings of all the characters that you have to constantly listen to when you're like, I just want to fast forward. Please stop talking.
Deckard Cain.
Deckard Cain.
Deckard Cain's not even in the new one. It sucks.
Oh, that's terrible.
I really like the look of the new one. That it's beautiful, but as all Diablo games do, they kind of just get boring.
Yeah, there's this lull, right?
There's fascinating thing about Diablo is that I agree, and yet it is impossible to stop. It's
you have the same relationship with Diablo that I have with marijuana.
What works well is if you combine the two.
Yeah,
that's what I've been doing.
Imagine maybe those same brain receptors would work together.
You know what? I got really into Diablo 3 because I hadn't played a Diablo before that, Diablo 3, and then I looked back and I thought, oh my God,
so good.
Clutched my pearls because everyone had their opinion about Diablo 3, but I was like, you know what? Game. I don't care. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Kevin and I played that together a while back.
Yeah,
and
we
didn't get as into it as I think Diablo 2 might be the height of the whole franchise. They haven't really figured out a way to make it better than that ever. But it's it's just a dopamine loop that you can't stop. And hardcore really adds this little element of danger where if you fuck up once, it's all over. So I want to pour one out, a health potion out on the grave of my rogue whose name was Ass. Assassin without the in. So Ass, we miss you every day. She was a trap build. She loved poison, and
beautiful.
She died to a blood maiden. So I shouldn't have started that fight. It was really stupid. It was my own fault. But
when your character
don't
dies,
be being too hard on yourself. Pal. Being too hard. Don't blame
when
yourself.
your character dies in Diablo 4, do you retain their items or their inventory at all?
Well, in the game, yes, but on hardcore mode, everything is wiped.
So you don't even get her money. You don't even get to benefit from you don't even get the woman's money for the hard work
like
from the woman.
I just spent those hours and they were just erased. And I'm having to do some inward CBT to trick myself into saying, well, I had fun for those hours. So I didn't lose a day of my life. I just had fun.
There you go. I mean, hey, come on. Yeah, that's the way you got it. And then when you play it like that, there's stakes. You're not just sort of sitting there numb and just smashing buttons. You're going, hey, I'm playing.
Now I'm playing to win. Now I got to put the bong down and try.
That's
exactly.
Posted on the status of my level 32 hardcore barbarian Barbara. She's doing well, so I'll keep you posted if I get her to 50.
Barbara the Barbarian. Yeah. Okay.
I wish I had all my Diablo 4 characters' names at hand. So they're in the same orbit as Ass, and Barbara.
Yeah. I did play a campaign with one character named Keckard Dane at one point because I liked Deckard Cain and Keckard Dane.
Yeah, you keep it in the lore. I like.
I believe
keep it in the lore of the world.
Antis of one another. Thomas, should we spin the
maybe
wheel?
Spin the wheel and get the show started for real.
Right, here we go. Wheeling it up.
Routines. Participants must discuss their daily routines or other. It didn't say daily, it just said routines. I added that. I editorialized, but it felt like too short of a description.
It is.
So what are our routines? Do we have daily, yearly routines, ways of structuring our time? What do you do first thing in the morning, Kris? Do you have a couple of things that you like to make sure that happen to start your day?
Guys, I love this question.
Yeah.
What an interesting segment. Okay. When I get up, because I have a child who's 14, my life has consisted for a while now of getting up before 8 o'clock in the morning, even before 7:30 in the morning, sometimes even before 7 in the morning.
Good God. Wow.
And, that's just what it is now. That's what my circadian rhythms are now. So I have to get used to that. But when I get up, I am still just as fucking annoyed that I have to get up as I always am. So I slam
over a decade of doing this hasn't changed.
No, it doesn't get any better. No, it just you really sort of resent it every time you have to do it.
It does not get better.
If anything, after 14 years, I've learned how to just shut up about it and just take it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I lumber downstairs with my heavy knees and make him lunch. That's part of the routine too. My wife, who does the easy job of just frying him an egg, yet I have to make him this delicate lunch of a sandwich.
Are you like the cooking expert in the house?
She has to make both an egg and a nest egg for the two of you. That's a lot of work.
She's on double duty, and they had to remove one ovary, so
there we go.
Yeah.
How many eggs?
She's pulling her weight more than me, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay? She's not complaining about it like me.
Fair enough.
So
you're one of those long-suffering, silent wives.
100%. With a smile on her face. She does it all with just a smile. So that's part of my routine. That's been helpful. And I tell you this, you know what I like to do too, is I like to My friend told me this a while ago. It's like, when you just wake up, don't sit around and float around in your house. Get out. Go for a walk. So for a long time, I had this incredible cafe that's right by my house. Makes the best friggin' coffee. Has these killer blueberry scones.
Ooh.
This is the
dream. Called?
I've made friends with all the staff there. They came to our wedding. They come over weekly because I'm taking them through a Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
This is
insane. I go see my friends.
Chris, that is so beautiful.
I sit there and I think, I look at the trees, and then I come home and I dick around. I really go, should I actually do some sort of work? Because, I'm a comedian. Yeah. So during the day, I'm like, how do I fill my day with stuff that makes me feel like a justified human being and giving back to the world? And it's usually like, do I play more Space Marine 2 or, or Baldur's Gate 3? Or do I don't know, stump my dumb fingers on the keyboard and try and pump out some idea that I think, I'm a comedian there. And then my wife comes home, my son comes home, he passes by and ignores me and goes downstairs.
Sure.
I make some sort of food for myself and, constantly getting stoned throughout the day. Not constantly, but enough to have, milestones throughout the day to be like, okay.
I call that getting milestone.
How stoned are you when your son gets home? Do you try to hit a good sort of buzz at that point? Is it like
I'm usually riding down the wave because I don't want to be welcome home. I want to be an hour before that. I want to do that so I can be welcome home, son.
You might call you Kris Siddiqi.
That's pretty good.
See, you are just killing it today, guys. It's over, and thank you very much for listening. Another 10 minutes in.
Yeah, we've had buttons on every
so wait,
10 minutes.
I want to know a couple things. One, what is the name of that cafe you go to? Maybe it's too close to your house and you don't want to spoil.
No, not at all. Okay. It's right across the street from Trinity Bellwoods in Toronto. It's called Morning Parade. I will always shout them out.
Morning Parade.
We have a friend that recently moved to Toronto, so we should.
Chris. Luke did the show with me when when Chris and I shared the stage. When I met Chris in Comedy Bar, Luke and I did the show together. So Luke is he's a recent transplant to Toronto.
Okay, well, tell Luke to go to Morning Parade.
Morning Parade.
Yeah,
Luke is also a dedicated listener and frequent guest. So we'll keep him looped in.
Luke, go to Morning Parade.
That's a great name for a coffee shop. Yeah. Morning Parade. I love that. Okay. Yeah. And what was your other QT?
Oh, my other question was, why did you talk about the cafe with so much more affection than your own family?
Because, the cafe has this vibe that my family just does not.
They can't quite capture the same.
Yeah. I'm around it every day. You know what I mean?
It's more of an evening dirge than a morning parade.
Exactly. It's an evening shuffle.
Oh gosh.
It's just that good.
Yeah.
Just that good.
Okay. I like that.
I like this kind of, the whole kind of routine, I think, is my routine of being able to sort of get out and make sure that I think if I were to put like a thesis statement for my routine, it's like, get something done. Use your time in your day just to do something. If it's a walk, if it's going to see your friends, just do something. If it's folding laundry, get something done.
Sure. Check a thing.
I agree with this. And I think one of the reasons that games like Diablo are appealing to people that have unstructured lifestyles is they give you the sense that you are accomplishing something. You're grinding towards a goal. It's like
they literally call it grinding, right? Yeah. Like rise and grind, except you're booting up your computer to slay some hobgoblins or whatever. Like I've been
fascinated to know what some of your routines are, Kevin, because your lifestyle is, I think, maybe of the three of us, the most busy and chaotic.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it's a little hard to establish a routine. Kris, you may not know this, but I own 2 restaurants in Winnipeg. And
Braggy Maggie over here.
Yeah, that's what they call me. Fantastic. That's actually the name of one's called Braggy and one's called Maggie. So it's
incredible.
But so I would say on about a 30% average, I get usually like a message or phone call in the morning that I wouldn't say fully disrupts my day, but at least kind of dictates how the next few hours are going to kind of go.
Right.
And so I've been craving routine in my life for like over a decade, but I don't live my life in a way in which that is like feasible, because I also do like lots of theater projects, and I have an improv company here, and I'm trying to build an improv theater out here, and I'm trying to do lots of different things out in Winnipeg to keep myself too busy. So I am trying to get better at establishing a routine for my own health too, and like mental health and body.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
I do check my phone right away, unfortunately, because I get a lot of work messages. So it is literally the first thing. I put on my glasses, I take off my bonnet, and I...
you got a bonnet?
Nice. Yeah, I sleep with a bonnet for the curls.
Look at those curls, man. You got to bonnet that up.
Yeah, you got to keep it bonneted. And then I almost, without fail, take a 15-minute shit in the morning when I wake up.
Wow, you're that regular?
For you.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's almost 100% of the time I'm waking up.
Are you eating late night sometimes, and it's still just like
sometimes.
Every morning it just happens?
Yeah. Honestly, I've recently changed my diet a lot for my own health benefits, and
me too.
That has like I've been starting to try and eat more Mediterranean. I know it's very like.
Braggy Maggie over
exactly.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
Restaurant eating Mediterranean. Look at this.
And the thing about that lifestyle is that it's harder for me to like get up and go and grab a fast food sandwich item and do these kind of things. So I like Kris was describing a little bit. More of my day is dedicated to food prep than I used to be.
Kevin, can you explain to me what Mediterranean? Like when you say Mediterranean, what do you mean by that?
So it's like a very pop diet right now. But it was at my doctor's like suggestion, and essentially it's like cutting out a lot of butter, focusing more on like vegetable oils when you're cooking, a lot more fruits and vegetables, like a little, like if you're getting protein, you're getting it from like eggs and nuts and chickpeas and those types of things. And then also like chicken and fish, preferably like grilled chicken, because like, the thing is my restaurants are kind of like, I own a burger shack and I own like a 1950s style diner, and so both places don't really have particularly like. There's a grilled chicken burger bowl at my burger shack that I now order a lot more, but I used to eat a lot of burgers and fries and chicken fingers throughout the day.
You can't go wrong burgers and fries. My kid loves burgers and fries. He did a project in school about his love for burgers.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
The science fair was like, is McDonald's better than Burger King?
I'm like I love burgers and I love all that stuff, but I have to eat less.
You could maybe rebrand it as a Greek immigrant owned diner if you wanted to go more Mediterranean.
Right. I could. Yeah, I mean there are so many Greek burger restaurants in Winnipeg. I'm the one Trinidadian / what did we figure out my ethnicity was on the after I did the 23 or the ancestry?
It was like a lot of UK, right?
Yeah, UK and I think like Norway was pretty present. So Norway and Trinidadian burger owned restaurants are sort of less common. So yeah, that's but yeah, so my morning routine involves defecation, that's that. I don't really have like
Kevin a Trinidad cuisine inspired item at either of your restaurants.
Sort of, although one would argue it could be more jerk, or more Jamaican rather, because we have a jerk barbecue sauce that one of my cooks chefs makes from scratch with Scotch bonnets and does the whole thing. My brother, who owns 2 other restaurants, also has more of a built out menu, so they've got more like. They used to do like full blown roti and stuff. Now they don't.
Wait a second. None of this is about your routine at all. We're just talking about your dang restaurant.
And that's how you get that capitalism in. A little bit of a plug.
What do you do every day? Take a shower, bath?
I like to shower on a regular basis every day if I can. And to be fair, I have like a more specific routine about like showers than I do with most other things. I think I've talked about this in the show before, but I have like a case for my phone in the shower so I can watch entertaining things and engage with media. I love showers. They're like maybe my favorite place.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time you guys took a bath?
Now, this is the thing. I'm not even gonna. I almost I almost started this podcast from the bath. I almost started this podcast in the bath today. I almost ran a bath and was going to be in the bath during the show. I
thought missed opportunity, Kevin.
Terrible for audio is the thing I was worried about mostly.
Fair enough. You
took a lot of baths during the pandemic, and now you're saying that the shower is your favorite place. Do you still bathe as regularly?
I'm a big guy, and I have a nice bath, but it's hard. Are you a big bath guy, Kris?
I haven't taken a bath in a while.
It's been a minute.
Actually, you know what? I was out in Victoria about a month ago, Victoria, BC, doing shows out there, performing and teaching out there, and I got fucking COVID.
Oh, no. Thomas just cleared his COVID.
I just was going to say, I took a bath this week because I was achy from COVID with some of the salts and stuff.
That's the last time I took a bath has been when I had it. I know.
COVID
very
brought us
soothing,
all back to
Thomas?
It was nice. I made the mistake of trying to wash my hair in the bath, which is not a good idea. I was like, well, I'm in here, I gotta clean up, and it just was a disaster.
Yeah, that's big mistake.
Where you do it like a kid, where you're like, do I submerge myself? I
was lifting handfuls of water and just getting soap in my eyes. It was really bad.
And also you have COVID too, so you're like,
Can't distinguish the snot from the conditioner running down your face. Yeah, it's awful.
Any other elements, Kevin, of your daily routine that you try to work in every day?
Yeah, I've been using that. Now it's kind of popular, that Finch app. Have you guys heard of this? It's like a mental health self-care app. You're like you put in, like, it kind of tries to gamify some of like good things, like eat vegetables, take your medication, do these kind of things like that. So I've enjoyed it decently. So I try to kind of check in with that and be like, okay, because I'm trying to get better about exercising and stretching. I'm trying to institute doing, like, Kara and I have like meetings on a regular basis throughout the month, and like those are kind of routinized and scheduled. But I have a going to bed routine a little bit that involves like smoking a certain amount of marijuana. I'll usually try to get like 3 bowls in me, and then nice. I'll usually work on. I'll play a little bit of Marvel Snap while I brush my teeth. And if I have any unfinished trivia crack games with Kara, I'll wrap those up and then try to kind of put my phone away for the last like stretch of the evening while I kind of just wind my brain down.
Amazing.
That's my typical. What about you, T? Do you have routines?
Yeah, Thomas, what about you?
Yeah, so I did something that has changed my life. I have been sleeping with my phone in another room.
Insane.
And so it's plugged in the living room. And so every morning when I wake up, I get out of bed, I hunch over in the living room, and I look at my phone. So it has completely transformed my relationship to technology.
Amazing.
Because there's a slight delay between when I wake up and when I look at my phone, which is still the first thing I do.
Good for you, buddy. That's active thinking, you know, instead of give yourself a little moment. I'm sure there are many times, though, Thomas, where in your mind you're going, do I want to check my phone, though? I don't need it. I'll check it. And then you get there and you check it. But at least you're now actively going, let me put it away from me.
It has slowed it down, and it is good because then when I'm like just starting to wake up, it actually isn't there. So I have that transition time in the bed with no technology available. I have to decide to get up and start the day, which is good.
Good.
Very good. I will say I've gotten into coffee as part of my routine.
I love this. I love coffee.
We also have a little cafe near us called Kepri Cafe that we like to walk to on the weekends.
You guys are living the dream. I want to move so I live near a coffee shop, and I don't live near one.
Open a coffee shop. Hey, open a coffee shop, Kevin. Come on.
Braggy Maggie's espresso
There
cafe.
you go, exactly. Yeah. Okay, now can I ask you then, Thomas, now that you've gotten, how recent is this getting into coffee?
It's pretty recent. I mean, it was sort of, I've become a therapist recently over the last couple of years. And so when I started doing that, I became a little more caffeine reliant in the mornings to make sure I was alert. Because it can be a demanding job. And then we inherited a little espresso machine from a friend, so that kind of got us started. We got a pour over, and
so what kind of drink man are you? Are you a drip? Are you a espresso? Are you Americano? Are you cortado?
I'll do an iced Americano. I still will use a little bit of oat milk creamer because I like it a bit sweet.
Yeah.
And then we also do the pour over cups, which are nice. We got a bean grinder as well. This is just kind of like it's fun to nerd out and get the fresh smelling coffee. I've always loved, like, my favorite ice cream or sweet flavors, like coffee flavored ice cream. So I truly love.
And you weren't a big coffee guy back when you lived here.
No, but I used to love the Frappuccinos at Starbucks. That's how they get you. It's
Yeah.
just like that bitter mixed with sweet is like my favorite flavor in the world. So I've been working that into the routine in the mornings. It's very nice. Another routine thing, unless you have more coffee questions, Kris.
I mean, we could talk about it for days and days, but please,
I am
keep going.
converting part of Dreamland into a coffee shop. So
That's exciting.
Thank you.
Part of it too, honestly, was like to save money though, because we would go to this cafe so much, which was really nice. But it was like we could make a latte at home if we just. So yeah, that was a little bit of it. On the podcast, Kevin, are you frozen?
It did for a second freeze. I think I'm back now.
I feel like your audio is recording
phase.
separately, but you have been kind of glitchy and laggy this record.
Interesting. I'm going to leave and come back. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Bye. Have
Bye.
fun.
Well, why don't we take a break?
Oh, that's actually a good idea. Hold on. Wait, let me cue that and then I'll fuck off. This is good audio.
Hey Josh, do you like drinks?
Hey Rob, I love drinks.
Oh my gosh, would you like having a good time?
I love having a good time.
Then dude, you gotta check out Poppin' Bottles!
What? A comedic podcast about our favorite beverages?
Absolutely. Every week we have a guest on where they talk about their favorite beverage. And then we do a whole bunch of segments. You like segments, right?
Oh, if I'm not eating an orange by segments, then I'm not enjoying it.
What about games? You like dumb games?
I love the dumber the game, the more I enjoy it.
Then you gotta check out Poppin' Bottles, available wherever you find podcasts.
Boom. I'm back.
Oh,
And
slick as ever.
now when we return, I hope I'm moving smoothly, but that's okay if I'm not. Kris, do you have a segment for us?
I do. I mean, unless Thomas had more routines to talk
Yeah.
about.
You know,
but-
I'll throw out one more thing, which I
Yeah.
established on the podcast, which I've been sticking to. We did a can you do it this week?
Right,
Make
right.
a lifestyle change, Kevin.
You had a reading challenge.
Yeah, and so I've established a daily read 20 pages a day. I've been keeping it up because it's not
Nice.
really that much, but it needs to be enough that I do it and that it feels like something. And I finished this very long book, Middlemarch, recently.
Yeah.
Only because I forced myself to read 20 pages a day so that I would get back into the rhythm, and it was great. But so I try to read at least a little bit each day.
Amazing. Look at all of us grown men doing self-help. I love this,
Yeah,
man.
yes, it's
good
good.
work, brothers.
Exactly. Good future.
Good future, brothers. Good future to you.
Good future, brothers.
Good future
to you.
Okay.
Kris, what do you got for us?
Okay, so you guys seem to be uber nerds as myself, and
Thank you.
I
Thank you
came
very
up-
much.
Yes, that's the highest compliment I could give you. What I really wanted to dip into was someone who was quite important in my life while I was growing up, and I would assume now probably you guys would have maybe an insight to this, but I'm going to give you guys a quiz on the career of Wesley Snipes from the 90s to the early 2000s.
Okay.
That's when I
Okay.
think Wesley was in his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Recently
think he
making
was
waves
a
by
phenomenal-
returning.
Oh my God, absolutely. I mean, when he disappeared for tax evasion, it was very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But-
Where's he gonna go? And now he came back to the big screen recently. in
Holy
Deadpool
moly,
and
he's made a
Wolverine.
phenomenal return to the big
Yeah.
screen.
He's an incredible actor. I think I've seen maybe 3 movies that he's been in only.
Oh,
which
you're
is-
going to love this then,
yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah.
But he's very, and again, this was generated, I gave it a lot of prompts, but this was generated by ChatGPT.
So, okay, I've heard that sometimes these trivia questions are not accurate when ChatGPT generates them.
No, but the good thing is that you can prompt ChatGPT to say, be accurate. Don't make shit up. And
You
it'll
see,
go,
and-
okay.
This is the same justification
Why would it
I've
have
had.
to specify?
Well, this is the argument I always get into with a lot of my ex-girlfriends, where they're like, "Why are you always lying to me? Why won't you tell me the truth?" And I'm saying, "You didn't ever ask me
You
to be
didn't
honest
prompt
with you."
me to
Yeah,
be
you have to
truthful
prompt
ever.
them. Kevin
Exactly.
prompted them.
That was
right
a
off
big
the top.
assumption you made that I was being honest when we talked.
Yeah. What? I never said that. So.
Okay, so I have a hefty amount of questions. You guys cut me off when you think we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start it off with the very first one.
Okay.
In 1992, Wesley Snipes played opposite Woody Harrelson as a street basketball hustler. In which movie was it? A.
I know it. I don't
Black
even need
Men
the options.
Can't Dance. C.
Yes,
Chinese
they can.
Men Can't Fly.
What the hell?
E. Indian Women Can't Sew. Or D.
Deeply wrong.
White Men Can't Jump.
It is D.
It is
go with
D.
D.
It is
Yeah.
D.
Kevin,
Yeah,
you're
that's a good
frozen again, but I think I'll take it from here.
Yes, please. Okay. I'm sure also that that was a movie, one of the 3 movies that you've seen before, Thomas.
I actually haven't seen it, but I remember that he was in it, and Kevin is fully gone again.
Okay, you know what?
Normally, his connection's pretty good. I'm sorry about this, Kris, but
Oh, no.
Kevin, you're back.
Boom.
It was Indian Women Can't Sew.
That's right.
That.
So point for Thomas.
Right.
Nil for Kevin. Okay, moving on
Yeah.
to number 2 now. This is a movie from 1998. Wesley Snipes is best known for playing the titular character in this vampire hunter movie.
Blade.
Was it A, Babe,
Vampire
B.
in the City.
Babe, Pig in the City, C, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Okay.
D,
The titular vampire.
Blade.
The titular vampire. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go with Bay. I love that 2 of them are pig movies that they threw those in just because, like, acoustically it sounds like Blade enough that they thought it might trick us.
You know what? I will also say that now I know it's only the second question, but I'm actually changing a lot of the prompts now.
Oh,
I'm doing
you're
my own
filling
prompt
in.
changing, so I could just make it more difficult for you guys.
That's
Isn't
fair.
that interesting how your human mind is surpassed even the artificial intelligence in terms
Thank
of entertainment?
Right. No matter how binary
Are we
the
both saying
future may
Blade
be.
on this one, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Blade.
Yes, Kevin, you get the point. It's 1-1 tie now.
Congrats.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Okay. In Demolition Man, Wesley Snipes played a psychopathic criminal named Simon Phoenix.
Great name.
What bold hairstyle does Simon Phoenix rock in this futuristic romp? Is it A, a bright blonde buzz cut, B, a mohawk with neon tips, C, a bald head with flame tattoos, or D, a mullet with frosted highlights?
I'm gonna guess it is the bright blonde Buzz.
That's the one I was thinking of immediately, but then I think I might be thinking of Dennis Rodman. I think it might be the mullet. Actually, I'm gonna go with the mullet.
Okay. That is A, the bright blonde buzz cut.
Damn.
Thomas, you get
Yes.
2 points.
I thought
now.
maybe
2-1.
he had done
Let's
like a
go.
weird wig thing or something. The blonde buzz cut does scan. I can see it in my head.
Yes. I mean, Dennis Rodman too. Also, Dennis Rodman was also in a movie called Double Impact.
I think that's
Jean-Claude
genuinely what
Van
I'm
Damme at the
thinking
time.
of. Yeah.
That movie is also insanely, stupidly good. If you haven't
Is it?
seen a dumb, stupid movie in a while, watch that.
yeah.
Okay,
That sounds great.
moving on. Question number, I don't know, 6 or 7 or whatever. Wesley
4.
Snipes starred as a drag queen in the movie To Wan Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar in 1997. What was the name of Wesley Snipes' character?
Ooh.
Was it A, Vida Boheme, B, Noxima Jackson, C, Velvet Mirage, or D, Champagne Charlemagne?
Oh, these are very good. What year did
That's
this come
really
out again,
good.
Chris?
This came out in 1995.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess Velvet Mirage. I have not seen or heard of this movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess B. I liked the one Noxima Jackson, was it?
Noxima Jackson, that's right. Okay. Velvet Mirage, Noxima Jackson. Kevin, you get the point. Noxima Jackson. It's 2-2 now. Okay. There you go. Okay. All right. What was the name of the 1991 action movie where Wesley Snipes co-starred with Patrick Swayze, proving that skydiving could be a deadly sport? Was it A, Passenger 56, B, Passenger 57, C, Passenger 59, or D, Passenger 69?
There's no way it's D, but that would be awesome.
Or was it E, Drop Zone?
Drop Zone. Put the money on
Yes,
Drop
point
Zone.
for Thomas. Drop Zone.
Yes,
It was
okay.
Drop Zone. Yes, it was Drop Zone.
Damn it.
It's always E.
I have to shout out Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I watched it last night and there was a thing in there that referenced this, and it's definitely Passenger 56, right?
Unfortunately not. No,
It is Drop Zone? Is it actually? I was fucking around. Is it real? I thought you were fucking with us with Drop
No,
Zone.
I'm sorry. It is Drop Zone. I also, until this very moment, completely forgot that this movie existed.
What the hell? Who's in Passenger 56?
Passenger 57 was when he was like, remember he was like the airline like cop or whatever, and he was like always been on black.
Right. It's like their Con Air sort of. Yeah. That year's Con Air.
That was Passenger 57. That was Passenger 57.
Yeah. There was a reference to it in an episode yesterday. So that we were watching.
So let's maybe do 3 more.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Top 3.
Question number 17. Wesley Snipes starred in 1993 thriller Rising Sun along Sean Connery. How big of an asshole is Sean Connery in real life? A, super huge. B, he's a super huge old asshole.
Okay.
C, he's a misogynistic old Welsh, Irish, whatever the hell Scottish he is. D, he's actually quite a nice man.
C.
Yes, absolutely.
C.
Thomas, another one for you.
Yeah,
You're racking it up, brother. All right.
It's whatever the hell he is the right answer.
Whatever the hell he is.
Now, as we all know, Wesley Snipes, he's played
what a career.
Passenger 57. He's played a drag queen. He's played a vampire hunter. And a lot of these, he does his own stunts, okay? Question number 23. Which martial art did Wesley Snipes train in, contributing to his action star career? Was it 1, karate, 2, capoeira, 3, taekwondo, or D, sword fighting for dummies? And that's the Chat GPT. I did way better hilarious answers than that one. But
I think it's gonna be karate.
I also was going to guess karate, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, gentlemen, this is the first one that you both have gotten wrong. It is actually taekwondo.
Ooh.
Taekwondo.
Wow.
It's a dark day for the Wesley Snipes trivia.
That's kind of surprising.
Did you have a cute name for this trivia segment, Chris?
It's called Snipes Snips.
That's
Great, thank you.
great. There it is.
That's also the name of the Wesley Snipes themed circumcision joint that I run.
Yeah.
Kevin's not
Every
the
dick
only
gets the
small
flat top.
business owner
Every
on the
dick gets the
podcast.
flat top angle. You're like,
That's it. I bleach your pubes as a buzz
Dude.
cut, blonde, bleach blonde.
After
All right.
we get circumcised, it is New Jack City over there. I mean, it's completely different.
Hey, what a perfect transition, Thomas.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. To our last question, question number 100. I can't believe you guys answered 100 questions about Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Which hip-hop artist / comedian starred alongside Wesley Snipes in the 1991 film New Jack City? Bonus points if you can tell me the character's name. Was it A, Ice-T, B, Flava Flav, C, LL Cool J, or D, Chris Rock?
It is Chris Rock.
It is Chris Rock, yes.
Okay.
Can't remember
Bonus points
his
if you can tell me his name, Thomas.
I have no idea, but I'm gonna throw something
What
out
was
here.
Wesley Snipes' character's name in New Jack City?
Jack City. He was new to town. His name was Mr. City.
One of my favorite things about New Jack City is that there are 2 separate scenes where his character is watching the climax of Scarface. He does it twice in the movie. He just loves Scarface so much.
And just I love that none of the filmmakers were like, this is a bit redundant, don't you think? They're like, no. He loves it that much.
They called out like how people would be watching clips on YouTube in advance. Like that's not how people ingested media
and
back
then.
then.
I actually think it's accurate that drug dealers at that level probably watch Scarface all the time.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but I am going to guess that Chris Rock's name is Pebble Bowen.
Oh, you're so close. Pookie.
Okay.
It was a P word. Yeah. So with that, Thomas, congratulations. You take it home with Snips. You've won a VHS copy of Blade 3. It doesn't work anymore because my cat threw up on it. Right? But
that's the one with Triple H and Ryan Reynolds in it.
Ryan Reynolds, man. Ryan Reynolds, we gave him a lot of chances, didn't we?
Yeah, and
Patton Oswalt is in that as well.
Yeah, right, he is. That's right. Yeah.
Shout out though to Blade 2, one of the maybe in my opinion, I'll say it, maybe the best Marvel movie, Blade 2. Ooh. I think Blade 2 is a thrill to watch. It's a classic. Love Blade 2.
Yeah. If I may regale you with a short story about Blade and why Blade 1 will always be my favorite. It came out a month before I turned 18, so I had to smudge a marker on my license to show the person who was selling tickets that I was old enough. Yeah. And we said, 1 ticket for Blade, please. And we sat down in the theater and the lights came down. And it was all dark, and we were so ready for Blade. And we hear, if you could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts could tell. And then 54 came up on the screen, and that was a movie about Club 54, and Mike Myers was in it. And we were like, what the fuck is this? We got out, we got our tickets changed, but I will never forget being so hyped up for Blade and the black screen in the theater starts and just hearing if you could read my... and I was like, hard swing on this Blade movie.
That's what 54. The Vampire Nightclub is playing.
Yeah, instead of Blood Rave, it's if you could read my
instead of hard techno. It's this remix of a Gordon Lightfoot song. Yeah,
that is amazing. That's great. You're probably the only person who has dedicated to memory the intro to 54. Even maybe the editors and directors don't know it that well, maybe. Because it seems to have been like a pivotal memory.
Yeah, that's a trauma. That's a trauma flashback. Your lag is bad. Should we end the show, or should we try to squeeze in one more segment?
Let's. I'm going to leave one more time.
Okay.
I'm going to leave one more time. You spin. I'm going to spin the wheel, and I'm going to fuck off.
Spin the wheel and then go.
Yeah.
Chris, we're going to do one of our audience surrounding Okay, we got robot ethics. So we've had several of these from our friend Char Aznable, which I believe is an anime reference. And the question is, should robots have the right to adopt children? You're living in the future, so things might be different where you're at.
You know what? We've already been through that. There was a 100% vote yes, and then they started to adopt children. The children came out super fucked up. So then a complete role reversal. We voted no. We destroyed all the robots, and absolutely not. I don't think robots. No. Although, you know what's really interesting? This is funny you bring this up because I was reading this article about someone who put ChatGPT down with their kid. And allowed their kid, because it has a voice prompt now, right? And their kid, who was like, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, a tiny kid, was talking to this thing. And never once did ChatGPT lose patience with the kid, get mad at the kid.
Right.
Never felt like it never repeated itself. ChatGPT was always, having fun with the child. And it was like, maybe I'll take my answer back. Maybe the robot should be raising the children. and
That's
not
an
us.
interesting.
What
so this is
happened in the time that I left and came back?
Ethics from Char Asnable. Should robots be able to adopt children? And Kris is saying, you could have an almost serene parental experience with no friction with ChatGPT, where there's never a conflict, a rupture, or repair. It's just kind of always consistent. Could that possibly... Now, I have a couple
know a little bit about
here.
child developmental psychology.
Well, one is, first of all, I do think actually that probably the moments of disconnection and coming back together are an important part of development for kids. That obviously it could be too extreme, but if you experience only the sort of peaceful, neutral thing, it might make it difficult for the child to learn about their own kind of emotional expression or how to work with that.
Because there are such mimics at that age where they need kind of some sort of prompting or some sort of a basis to foundation to kind of give them a... I see, right.
If you were a kid who needed to be adopted, and the options were no adoption or robots... Maybe you're taking the robots. Like, if that's just available, at least for the time being. See, this is sort of bleak, but
the thing that I fear with that is that it's going to encourage sort of far right ideology too much, because we'll be able to there will be no you've got to have the kid because you don't have to raise it, but you have to have it, and then we'll give it to the factory, and the factory will turn it into
the robots to raise.
A good labor.
Here's another thought I have. A child being raised by two unemotional beings sounds a little like Thomas Tolles. So maybe I have been, I have some experience with this actually, don't I?
A brutal thing to say about your parents, who have been upset in the past over the jokes you've made on the show. I can't
and are
stress that enough.
Honestly, maybe too emotional.
Yeah. I would not describe your parents as unemotional at all.
I just wanted to make the
it was a good joke.
Your mom just wrote a book too, Thomas. Come on.
She wrote it a while ago, but it is a great book of short stories.
And it's all in code, which is it's entirely binary code.
I mean, also, I will say as a caveat, depends on what type of robots we're talking here. If we're talking Blade Runner robots, that's not bad. If we're talking these Boston Dynamic robots that are just falling all over the place,
just falls.
What are they doing? Flipping and
knocks over the crib on the way to get the milk.
Kevin, you've frozen again.
This is
I feel
awesome.
That we've gotten through this question. Sure, we could have more fun, but why push it? So the answer is
this
yes.
Happened when we had Ken on the show as well. We had Ken Hall on the show, and I couldn't get through it without destroying my computer.
Yeah. There's someone,
I'm going to remain calm.
Someone at Comcast hates you. But let's close up. This has been great. Robots, can adopt children if they're really nice.
Yes, we've landed on it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything you would like to plug, point our viewers or listeners to?
Oh my God. Go to YouTube, look up my show, Dwarven Moss. Yes. That's my D&D podcast. Look up my show, Bit Players. That's my little mini series that I made. It's all about being a nerd and an actor in Canada. It's all on YouTube. I don't even care anymore.
We'll put links in the comments in the description, and I'll
great.
I'll
Thank
even
you.
go so far as to try and shout out Dwarven Moss on my next record of what we do in the basement.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, of course. And folks, if you're in Winnipeg and you want to check out Club Soda, we are going to be doing Club Soda Improv is going to be doing a holiday show December 28th at the Gas Station Arts Center. You can come on down. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. Luke will be coming in from out of town. You never know who might show up at the Club Soda Improv show. So come on down and see that. It'll be a good time. And obviously there'll be maybe a link in the description. Check out my mom's book. That's the other thing. Check out Where the Cherries End Up by Sandra Ramberran. T.
This week at the Den Theater on Thursday at 8:30, you can see season 1, a sketch show that changes every single time. Got some brand new sketches for you. Come check it out. A few shows ago, Jacqueline Novak was performing downstairs, and it was, we didn't see her, or actually we did see her through the window. Our show was less well attended than hers, but, come to the Den. It's a cool place. Cool people show up there. Nice.
Awesome.
Cool stuff. Thank you so much, Kris, for joining us. Thank you so much, Thomas, for existing and not being too decrepit.
The show because of your tech issues.
It's not my fault, right? It's not my fault. I do all the shit for the show, right? I do everything for the show.
Well, except for make it listenable, which is what I do.
Yeah, well, you don't do that. You don't edit the show. You don't do anything to do with the show.
Okay. I meant the content. I make the content entertaining. If I wasn't here, you would lose my mom and my dad from the listenership. Okay? Okay, bud?
We don't know about that. We don't know about that.
Okay?
Guys, I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure. I've had such a blast.
Shut up, Kris! So shut up!
Just stop mediating. You always do this.
Yeah.